Now, of course, it doesn't make any sense for me to make a circle graph and not label anything. The properties of a good graph include a title and labels. So we need to get titles and labels involved here. We started again with daily over here. We went 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 1 time a week. And our circle graph is looking pretty good. The only thing we're missing then is an overall title. Why be creative? We'll call this exercise. And there you go, completed circle graph. Now example 2 is another circle graph. The difference in this particular problem, though, is that they give us raw data. As you can see, there are not percentages here. So we're basically going to have to come up with the percentages before we can get to the multiply by 360 step. So this one is about the number of branch banks in Northwest Indiana. Banks, chain banks, branch banks, whatever you want to call them. And they give us Chase at 4, Fifth Third at 6, First National Bank at 8, City Bank at 2. Branch banks in Northwest Indiana, Chase at 4, Fifth Third at 6, First National at 8, City Bank at 2. First National. You can just write FNB. Now again, this one doesn't start with percent, so we've got to come up with the percent. So this is the raw data one. Now it says to start off here, I've got to add the raw data. So I'm going to start by adding 4, 6, 8, and 2. Well, that's easy. Obviously, 4, 6, 8, and 2 add up to make 20. The next thing says to divide the individual data by the total of the raw data. So now I'm supposed to take and divide each of these by 20. Again, why 20? Because that's what all 4 numbers add up to make. If all 4 numbers added up to make 2,000, then I'd be dividing by 2,000. And the other step says I'm supposed to multiply that result by 360. So after I get that answer, I'm going to multiply by 360. Again, 360 because that's the total degrees of a circle. Same thing we did over in example 1. Okay, so for Chase, you're going to do 4 divided by 20, and I'm guessing again most of you would be using a calculator, so I'm saying it that way. You're going to do 4 divided by 20, then equals or enter, multiply that result by 360, and that's going to give you 72 degrees. Fifth Third, 6 divided by 20 equals or enter, times 360, and that's 108 degrees. First National, 8 divided by 20 equals or enter, times 360, and that's 144 degrees. And Citibank, 2 divided by 20 equals or enter, times 360 is 36 degrees. Okay, so I'll start the same way I did the last one. Draw where you think your center is. If you're just taking the protractor and doing this and then this, just line up where you start and the arrow should point right at the center. And I'm going to draw my line, come to the beautiful top. Again, that's something I would do every time. Okay, so 72 degrees is where I start for Chase. So again, line it up as such, and again, I always read to the right, so I'm always reading the top set of numbers. I'm looking for 72. 72 is going to be right there. Fantastic. All right. His third number is 108 degrees. So again, I don't start like this. I always go to the line I just most recently drew. So I'm going to start like this. Read around until I get to 108. Just right there. There's that one. And the last line I have to draw is for First National. First National is at 144. Again, match up with the line you most recently drew. Read around the top till you get to 144. It is a large portion of the graph. And we line it in. And we're good. Okay, so then I've got a label and title. That's not a problem. Again, we started with Chase. Then we went to Fifth Third. Then we went to First National Bank. Then we went to Citibank. And of course, again, I need an overall title. Northwest Indiana Banks works for me. Okay, over in example 3 now, as you can see, we're switching away from the circle graph. We're covering the other type of graph that we've missed throughout the year here. That's a line.